Shalom. First thing and foremost, I want to give all praises and glory and honor that's due to Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai Ba'Shem Rakakwadash. I'm going to give double honors to the apostles and others. Blessings and salutations to the hopeful elect. Those in this gospel, God, living with the standard of Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai, wherever it may be. This is just a quick lesson through the Spirit. Had a couple of articles pulled up regarding this topic. Says Republicans warn lockdowns are coming as China pneumonia spreads. And, as we here at Great Millstone, we speak a lot on prophecy and current events because, that's what the men of the Lord are set up to do, to prophesy the end of this kingdom, okay, which is Esau, Edom's kingdom, the so-called white man. Now, ask yourself this particular illness allegedly has been around in China since May, but we know that there's a lot of media blackouts on these particular illnesses or plagues that we're seeing manifesting, because we know through the Spirit the global elite have an agenda they want to push on humanity. Now, when you go into the research or you go into certain interviews and stuff like that, people are describing this particular thing as what they've been dealing with since 2020. Same effects, same side effects, same particular protocols that they have been putting in place to allegedly curb this thing. This is the same thing that people were speaking about in these different states, because allegedly they had some out there in Ohio too, like some hospitalizations, and allegedly, and particular outbreaks out there in Ohio. And people were saying, it feels just like the Icky Vicky, but yet they name it pneumonia. Okay, which we know that's basically like a respiratory type infection. Now, when you look at these particular pestilence, they have been weaponized, because a couple of videos ago, I went into what they call walking. I'm going to say it that way, the walking, Pneumonia. And a lot of times with walking, or the walking illness, I'll say it that way. A lot of times you can go undetected, or a lot of times, it's not putting you in a hospital because, your immune system kind of keeps it at bay. But now people are speaking about that they've had like this chronic cough, a lot of chest mucus or phlegm as they call it, for 3 weeks to a month. People are not seeming to kick these symptoms. It's been a lot of fatigue, okay, a lot of drowsiness, sore throats, all this stuff, which basically alludes to the coming COLD, but yet they're not able to kick these particular symptoms, man. So it makes you wonder as to what the elites are really up to, because we know through the Spirit that they have been weaponizing these particular, this is a weapon that they're using against humanity, okay? But it reads here, it says, Republicans warn lockdowns coming as this spreads. So basically we've been telling you that they're going to do another lockdown, okay? This is exactly what they want to do, because it's all part of the elite's agenda, okay? They want to put that micro C-hip in you, but in order for them to do that, they need to put some type of scare tactic in place to get people to really feel the squeeze of this coming ordeal, because even Kill Gates of Hell state, he said, look, this next one is going to get your attention. And could this be the big one? We don't know. We have to wait and see. But it says Republican lawmakers send an urgent plea to President Joe Biden on Friday as concerning the rise in cases continuing across China. Now, apparently this is in parts of Europe, UK, in different other countries and different states here in the United States. Like, me personally, I believe this has been over here for some time. Okay, people are describing it just as a seasonal type thing. But see, this is what Esau does, man. He have provocateurs that he pays to go around to spread this information. So while this whole ordeal may be nothing more than a seasonal outbreak, they're going to have people that's set up to make it more than what it really is. So that way they could be justified on falsifying the numbers and hospital visits and being able to push draconian laws like they done 2 years ago. Okay, because like right now when you look, you don't see the hospitals, they're not crowded. People are not appearing to be sick or whatever you want to call it. But overall, they keep this hush because at a point in time of releasing this information, they want people to panic. So this has been over here for some time. It ain't nothing new, because on TikTok people was like, man, this shit has been over here for a minute. But like what Esau does, he lies about his information, in order to keep people in a trick bag. But it says many parts of China have been hit by a surge in illnesses, which have particularly affected children. And I ask yourself this, illnesses, they don't discriminate, okay? Old, young, rich, poor, free bond. They don't discriminate. Whether you're a child, there's no such thing as a particular illness that affects children only. Okay, that doesn't make any sense. So allegedly there had to be some type of weaponization behind this thing. Okay, because just like saying the common cold may affect me different than it may affect the elderly person because the immune systems. But overall, at the end of the day, it's like it can still affect me. I can still come down with a particular virus, just like the elderly, though it may have a different effect on me than the elderly because the immune systems. But regardless of it, the common cold does not discriminate on who it hits. Same thing with this whole outbreak that they're talking about. So we know that this has been weaponized against the people. And we know that Esau Edom and his mad scientists, like the scriptures say, you're all physicians, you're forgers of lies, you are physicians of no value. This is what they're doing. Okay, this is what they're promoting. We know that they're weaponizing this thing. We know that they have mad scientists or Frankenstein doctors around the world that perfect these particular pestilence, and then they spread them among the people. Hence the three-letter word, the DCC, as we know as the control for you-know-what center. Okay, they show you in movies like Walking Dead. They show you in other movies like, I believe it was like The Last of Us. And they show you how these particular government organizations basically are responsible for the madness that you're seeing. You know, that's why people don't trust the government. But it says northern provinces in China experienced a jump of cases for 5 consecutive weeks since mid-October, and that's folly because allegedly this has been around since May. But they're just reporting on it because now they want to make an urgent ordeal out of it. Okay, no coincidence that this Muppet brain idiot Biden approved of a new juice back in September to be released in October. Okay, so we see how it's going, and we believe through the spirit this may constitute another LD, Lord's will. But it says the news triggered global concern following China's lack of transparency regarding the origins of the you-know-what spread, which prompted strict public health restrictions and quarantine measures. Okay, like coincidentally, out there in California, the state is steady going up before these particular courts in order to be able to reinstate draconian mandates of quarantining you people without even being sick. Okay, so this is a nefarious agenda, man. Like we say, order out of chaos, order out of chaos. Problem, reaction, solution. Create the problem, generate a reaction, and then you can come with the solution because the people are too stupid to put 2 and 2 together. Okay, but it says here, several states in the U.S. reported an uptick in the child you-know-what cases this week, further raising alarm about the you-know-what, although health officials alleged that there's zero evidence that the increase is connected to the you-know-what. Okay, so we know that China is a test dummy. Okay, we know that China is a test dummy. We know that a lot of times the model for these new world orders, from the social credit systems to the pestilence, is all started in China, man. Because, I mean, let's be honest with you. They have a more huge, I think China's population is like, what, 2-3 billion? You know, probably more than that. So they got peons to kill off over there. Okay, versus that they're doing it over here in the States first. But they can kill off 200, 300 million people in China and still have, you know, a couple of billion left. So collateral damage, as Esau calls it, you see. But it says here, reading on, it says, Senator Mark Rubio, a Republican from Florida, has since urged Biden to ban U.S. travel and to and from China to stop the spread of any contagions. The WHO has requested more information from China about the illness, but Rubio advised that Biden shouldn't wait any longer before implementing the travel you-know-what. And the reason why they're not doing it is because they want people up here to get sick so they can be justified on doing what they have to do. Okay, because when there's no quote-unquote evidence of people succumbing from this particular pestilence, there's no need to quote-unquote lock down because there's no evidence saying or to substantiate that these people are going to die from it. So therefore, let's get a couple of 100,000 people over here. Let's get them sick and let's, falsify the numbers that way. That way, people can't say that we're a bunch of damn liars. Okay, which we know the news, they're a bunch of, it's a joke. It says we must take the necessary steps to protect the health of the Americans and our economy. And I promise you, America will not survive another shutdown. Okay, and I'm guessing, and I speak as a man, that they may do this at some type of economic crash, because that way, when the economy crashes, they can blame and say, well, we don't have the adequate health needs or the health care to help people out, and on top of that, the famine. We don't have the necessary measures in order to help people, so therefore, this is out of place. So it makes sense that they would do it during a time of an economic downturn, which, if this happens, America won't survive another shutdown. I'm guaranteeing you that. But it says the means we should immediately restrict travel between the United States and the People's Republic of China until we know more about the dangers posed by this new you-know-what. It says a travel ban on now can save our country from death, lockdowns, mandates, and further outbreaks later. Okay? But it says Rubio was joined by the Republican Senators J.D. Vance of Ohio, Rick Scott of Florida, and Tommy Tuberville of Alabama, and Mike Braun of Indiana. It says the Chinese Communist Party has proven that they cannot be trusted to provide transparency about diseases originating in China. But wait a minute, man. You're not very transparent yourself. And to be honest with you, America is not really it's not a democracy, man. Okay, it's like a communist republic. Okay, because it's not necessarily the people's. It's like a what can't recall it, but it's not necessarily a democracy, man. Under public oath. Though they hire under democracy because they give people the right to be freaks of nature. But at the end of the day, the people, they don't mandate or they don't come up with the laws or so forth, or they don't vote these things into practices. Though they have the illusion that they are voting for a better day in America. But overall, these people, man, they don't have no say-so. Because if they did, then they wouldn't went into lockdown number one, which proves right there that Esau is full of shit. Okay? So anyway, let's get a couple of precepts here, man. And go to the scriptures. This is the book of Revelation 12 and 12. It says, therefore rejoice, ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them. But woe unto the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea. For the devil is come down to you having great wrath, because he knoweth he have but a short time. So this is all part of Esau's major agenda, to come down to enslave the people, man, and to put that microscopic chip in them. Because that's what it's all about at the end of the day. Fitting people with the traceable ID to implement them into some type of digital slavery. Because what Esau was doing is basically playing the Most High, but on the left-hand side, because he have what they call a God complex. So he's getting ready to come down with great wrath, man, because I was actually reading in an article, I believe I may still have it. It says John Kerry says global elite may use military force to achieve climate compliance. Okay, so here you got this talk of climate lockdowns, and then on top of that, you have more pestilence and plagues. So they getting ready to hit you people from all sides, man, and you ain't ready to see, you people ain't ready for what's coming, man. Especially you Jakes, okay? Because Jake is just totally in la-la land, man. You got Jake talking about what they're going to do for 2024, New Year's resolution. You got Jake talking about investing in the stock market. Jake is talking about going to the NBA. Jake is talking about getting season tickets to the Super Bowl. But here, come beginning of the year, we may see a total collapse of the dollar, because allegedly, BRICS and those nations that harbor with BRICS, they're taking their reserves out of the dollar. So therefore, once the dollar fully collapses, that's going to be the end of this Western hegemony, at least from America's dictatorships. You know, but it says here, I hope that President Biden will take our request for travel ban seriously, but a travel ban is necessary while we wait for more information about this pestilence. But the letter went on to remind Biden that former President Donald Trump took similar actions when, this began to spread. But on January 31st, 2020, President Trump issued an order to restrict travel from the PRC, which is the Republic of China, and to the United States to protect the American people and to counter the spread of the you-know-what. But it says many officials and commentators, including you, criticize his decision as being influenced by xenophobia, by which history and common sense shows his decision was the right one. So here they bigging up Trump, man. Okay, and this guy Biden, they're getting ready to upskirt him into oblivion, because they don't feel that he's capable. Like the guy's in his 80s, he's totally senile, he's incapable of holding office. And let's be honest, man, Biden is totally incapable. He's been incapable. That's even if he's still alive, man. He may be some type of fucking puppet behind a mask or something, who knows. But this is the book of Revelation 6, and I'm gonna start at 8. It says, and I looked, and behold, a pale horse, and his name that sat on him was death, and hell followed with him. Okay, destruction. And another way of saying Esau Edom is death and hell, because everywhere Esau goes, he spreads death and destruction. It says, and death and hell followed him, and power was given unto them over the fourth part of the earth, to kill with the sword, and with hunger, and with death, and with the beasts of the earth, man. Okay, so that's his whole agenda, his whole MO, if we may add. Okay, to bring plagues and destruction to the planet Earth, because that's part of the prophecy. And our Lord Yahweh Shai said it. He said, look, man, it should be famines and pestilence and earthquakes in diverse places. These are the beginning of sorrows. Okay, so we're in the beginning of sorrows. The whole war in the Middle East has restarted after the so-called 4, 5, 6 days of truce, which I believe she may have been a Palestinian woman. She came out and basically stated that the whole truth was nothing but BS. Okay, that they were still killing and pillaging those Palestinians, so it was all a farce, man. But yet they gave the public the notion that they was in a truce until all those passengers or those hostages, Salakia, was released back to their respective lands, which, you know, that's like with a grain of salt. But anyway, Job 13:4 says, but ye are all forgers of lies, ye are all physicians of no value, man. Okay, so you can't trust the system. You can't trust Esau. You can't trust his MDs or any of that shit, because they don't have the best interest of the people. Okay, so I'm gonna end it on this precept. This is just a quick lesson. The book of 2nd Esdras 16, and I'm gonna start at verses 68. It says, for behold, the burning wrath of a great multitude is kindled over you, and they should take away certain of you and feed you, being idle with things offered into idols, when we know it's going to be that micro C-hip. Because at the end of the day, they need to lock you into a digital infrastructure so they can be able to track, trace, and dictate every move you make before you make it. Hence the social credit system, which China in fact already has, man. All right, and it says here, and they that consent unto them should be had in derision and reproach and trodden underfoot. It says, for there should be in every place and in the next cities a great insurrection upon those that fear the Lord, meaning that they're going to shut the cities down. You're going to have martial law. You're going to have riots. You're going to have pestilence. You're going to have famine. You're going to have class riots. Okay, you're going to have breaking and entering. You're going to have mass destruction in these cities, man. They're going to be setting fires to buildings. Bridges are going to be blown, okay? Parts of the cities are going to be divided. It's going to be a bloodbath out here, man. And it's going to be justified them on bringing in martial law to restore some type of order out of chaos, which in fact they created, according to Job, the 20th chapter. And it says, for they should be like madmen, sparing and but still spoiling and destroying those that fear the Lord. It says, for they shall waste and take away their idols and cast them out of their houses. Then shall they be known who are my chosen, and they should be tried as gold in the fire. But here, O you my beloved, says the Yahweh, behold, the days of trouble are at hand, Jacob's trouble, man, but I will deliver you from the same. So be ye not afraid, neither doubt, for Yahweh is your guide, okay? So we can't be afraid, man. Just like the Most High got us through the first ordeal, with minor bumps and bruises, he's going to get us through this, man. Okay, because this is the real deal. The first one was more like a trial test experiment going back to J. Helm 15, going back to 2015, and those particular mock drills they were doing in these particular cities, making replicas of certain neighborhoods so they can know how to come in a time of martial law, man. Okay, and I believe that it was foreign troops that was doing Jade Helm 15, man, because it don't really benefit the American troops to really roll on their citizens, so therefore they have to ship them out. But I believe that these foreign troops are doing secret drills, man. Okay, and it says here, then the God of them who keep my commandments and precepts, says the Lord Yahweh, let not your sins weigh you down, nor let your iniquities lift themselves up, man. So I'm going to end it there, giving all praises and glory and honor that's due to Yahweh, by Hashem Yahweh Shai, by Hashem Rakakwadash. And with that, Shalom.